Losing a job with no savings doesn't give you time to think. It gives you about 11 days before the first bill goes unpaid. Many people believe they can rely on credit cards or a quick job search to get by, and this is where they go wrong. Without an emergency fund, each day you don't find work is debt increasing, not stability. Picture 2 weeks into job hunting without income, and the credit card bill starts to mimic the income you no longer have. An emergency fund is your first line of defense against the unpredictable. It's not just a stash of cash, it's a buffer between you and financial disaster. Instead of relying on credit, which only deepens your long-term financial hole, an emergency fund stops problems before they start. Setting one aside can be the single most calming financial decision you'll ever make. The real mistake is waiting until you've paid off all your debts to start an emergency fund. The perception is you should clear debts first, but in reality, this means you remain vulnerable to financial emergencies. An unexpected expense with no fund means borrowing more, adding to the vicious cycle of debt. Think about it. A flat tire shouldn't mean debt. A minor car problem could set you back a few hundred, but with a fund, it's a one-time annoyance, not a multi-month repayment plan. This separation between inconvenience and financial peril is what an emergency fund gives you. Start small and real. Even a couple hundred in the bank can make a difference. Having this set aside is like owning an umbrella before the rain starts. You won't regret it the day the skies open up. Many skip this step because they think building savings is harder than it is. They overestimate the cost of starting, but in truth, initial savings can be tiny. It's the habit that matters. Saving 3 to 6 months of expenses is the goal, but don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Start with a goal small enough to achieve soon. Success is motivating. Emergency funds are not investments, so don't chase interest rates. This money needs to be accessible and secure, like a savings account or a money market account. Liquidity is key. The main thing isn't how much interest it earns, but that it's there when you need it. A fund kept in a checking account easily gets spent. Keep it separate so it's still available when life throws a curve. Imagine a surprise medical bill. It's a nightmare if not prepared. With an emergency fund, it's no less annoying, but not devastating. Processing such events becomes a logistical process rather than a financial tailspin. The absence of a safety net makes minor emergencies major catastrophes. Clean water becomes a flood when there's no fund for a plumber. Preventive measures are not luxuries, but necessities. An all too common beginner error is thinking short term. They view their paycheck as endless, especially if things are stable now. But this view ignores the nature of life, uncertain and full of surprises. Every budget needs an emergency fund line. This part of the plan says, I'm ready for anything. It's an acceptance of unpredictability and a solution against it. Plan your fund as soon as financial life begins. Even teens with part-time jobs benefit from having savings for unforeseen events. Wisdom comes early when this habit grows with them. Every financial decision after setting up a fund becomes less stressful. You don't second-guess every purchase wondering, what if I need this money later? You know your bases are covered. Consider the small emergencies, a minor home repair, or a sudden travel expense. Without a fund, these problems derail your monthly budget. With one, they're blips. A common objection is, I don't have enough to save. But savings are a percentage game, not an amount game. Even a tiny percentage of a small income adds up over time. Focus on habitual savings rather than lump sums. Regular, small deposits train your brain that savings is not optional, it's as critical as paying bills. Some jobs offer automatic transfers for savings plans. If your work allows it, utilize this. Automation removes the temptation to spend instead of save. Every step you take towards building a fund is protection you provide for yourself. It's self-reliance in its purest form. You need no one else to cover your safety net. Link the fund to emergencies only. Avoid treating it as a general pool for dipping into when wants appear. Its purpose is clear. Cover what you didn't see coming. Money set aside for emergencies is peace of mind in savings form. Everyone will face an unpredictable challenge at some point. Better to face it prepared. Another perspective to grasp is the difference between an emergency fund and a rainy day fund. Emergencies are dire. Job loss, medical mishaps, serious repairs. Rainy days are unexpected but manageable, like a small appliance breaking or a last-minute gift. Both require funds, but not the same pool. Clarity in this distinction helps prevent misuse. You wouldn't rebuild a kitchen with the emergency fund's resources meant for critical needs. Learn to replenish the fund post-emergency. After using it, prioritize returning the money spent. It's like restocking a first aid kit after using the supplies. Ignoring replenishment sets you back to square one. You end up vulnerable all over again, failing to learn from the initial situation. Experience teaches that living crisis to crisis is exhausting. Avoid the cycle by focusing on proactive saving strategy instead. Emergencies stop being emergencies when handled well. Don't overthink where the fund is kept. If moving it for a marginally better interest rate causes accessibility issues, it's not worth it. The priority is availability. Fix what you can see. Plan for what you cannot. An emergency fund smooths life's jagged edges long before you hit crisis mode. The misunderstanding is thinking good times will stay good. This fallacy blinds people to the need for preparation. Prosperity indeed prepares for adversity. Imagine having an interview lined up when the car won't start. Instead of scrambling for bus fare or risking no show, an emergency fund gives you the pause to fix and move on. Mind the psychological effects. Knowing you have a safety net lessens anxiety about the what-ifs, making you more resilient and opportunistic. A fund is foundational, shielding every other financial plan: investing, saving, or spending. It all rests easier with this plan in place. Neglect is common because other financial goals seem more enticing, but glossy goals like wealth building or investing come after security. First stabilize, then grow. Perhaps the deepest reason to value an emergency fund lies in control. Every dollar in that fund is a choice you've made towards independence and preparedness. Think of the ripple effect. If every financial decision is now built on stability, the outlook for everything from retirement to schooling looks brighter. The biggest change is realizing that financial health isn't about having enough, it's about handling enough. This balance is mobile when an emergency fund supports it. Handling money well means creating spaces for life's unpredictability. That's why next you'll want to understand compound interest. It transforms stability into growth without you lifting a finger.